Your mindset ultimately dictates how you interact with your life around you. Do you have a fixed mindset? And a fixed mindset is essentially where you believe that all skills and attributes are inherited, that they cannot be changed, that they are fixed in their ways. So, for instance, you believe that intelligence, for example, is fixed throughout the lifespan. Whatever you're born with, those are the IQ points that you're going to die with. Versus a growth mindset, on the other hand, is the belief that skills and attributes are malleable, that they are changeable, that those IQ points or whatever that you're born with can be altered and improved upon over time. Let's take this into the real world. Let's say that you are up for a job interview for a promotion. If you have a fixed mindset, then you are under the belief that whatever you got is what you're going to give to the position. And it is probably going to make you much more likely to grow inside of that company to the fullest extent. Versus if you have a growth mindset, then you are approaching the job interview not by the skills that you already have currently, but by all the potential that you can give to the business. Who's going to get hired in this case? I'd bet on the growth mindset individual 100 times over. So how do we foster and ultimately cultivate a growth mindset instead of a fixed one? Because after all, it seems like a growth mindset is going to get you much, much further in your life's course than a fixed one will. So today I'm going to share 7 practical tools that you can deploy probably today if you wanted to, that will help you shift your mindset from wherever it is currently into more of a growth mindset landscape. So without further ado, let's get into the first tool, which is journaling. Now, there are 2 types of journaling that I like to discuss. The first is kind of stream of consciousness journaling, where you are kind of just putting your mind and portraying it and writing it out onto the page. So you're just kind of writing out whatever comes to your mind. But the reason why I like this variation of journaling so much is because it feels like you are having a conversation with somebody else without actually having that conversation. So you can write down whatever you want, and it's almost like you're talking to yourself. This kind of mimics talk therapy, but without obviously having a clinical talk therapist there at your disposal. So it's just you and yourself, but it's making your thoughts more concrete than they are in your head, because in your head they can be very lucid, very, very elusive, and without writing it down, without putting pen to paper, they can be forgotten about and never remembered again. So this is a good way to kind of talk yourself up into more of a growth mindset and build better habits. Now, the second form of journaling is something called gratitude journaling, where essentially you are just writing out things that you are grateful for that day. And the real science behind this is that when you are in the emotion of gratitude, when you are grateful for something, you are much less likely to be in negative emotions or a negative frame of mind. So this is inherently pushing your mindset into a more positive one. This ultimately reframes your perspective and paints the world in a much more brighter color. Personally, I like to deploy both of these types of journaling every single day. I will sit down and start with a stream of consciousness journaling, where I'm just writing out my thoughts and how I'm feeling about the day or past events or the future, whatever it may be. And I'll write about 3/4 of a page of that. And then for the last fourth of a page, I will dedicate that to gratitude journaling. Now, typically, I will only write one thing that I'm grateful for each day, and I may do the same grateful event that I did a month prior. I don't think that it really matters that you're original every time. I think the main idea is to just get yourself thinking, get yourself into that grateful and gratitude frame of mind, so that you are not in a negative and dreary state of mind. Now, for journaling, I like to do this first thing in the morning. Well, not first thing. It's about 30 minutes after waking up. Some people like doing it before bed. Whatever time that you are going to stick to is going to be the best for you. Personally, I like doing it in the morning just because it starts my day off on a positive note, and that kind of becomes a snowball effect, a landslide, if you will, for the rest of my day. Tool number 2 is mindfulness and meditation. Personally, I am still working on building this into a habit that I do every single day. I will do it probably a couple times a week, but I would like to be doing it at least every day. And that's purely for the fact that I feel like it does provide great benefits. Mindfulness and meditation can help you reduce stress, reduce cortisol, and just get you more in a relaxed, more of a parasympathetic frame of the nervous system, which beyond just those benefits of relaxation, it also can help you quiet your mind and learn how to control your mind. And with having a negative or fixed mindset, a lot of the times your mind will be racing and ruminating on negative thoughts, things like, oh, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, with meditation, you are trying to let go of all those thoughts, focus on an outward thing like your breath or something like that. And through the act of just focusing on those things, you quiet and dim your mind. And then every once in a while, you probably will have a thought pop up, because that is just human nature. At which point, don't react to the thought, just simply observe it and let it pass. And this is a good way of kind of taking an inventory of your inner thought landscape and being able to see, oh, I'm thinking this too much, or I'm thinking that too much. Take an inventory of that, so then you can kind of journal about it later and try and work your way through those negative frames of mind. Tool number 3 is positive affirmations, which is essentially just a phrase that you say to yourself on repeat whenever you remember to say the phrase. And this is just a way to positively reinforce the direction that you are trying to go. So, for instance, if you feel like you have a fixed mindset and you feel like, you're limiting in your beliefs about certain things and becoming better in certain ways, then having a positive affirmation like, oh, I can do this, I will become better at this, can actually reinforce that positive outlook and reinforce those positive behaviors. For example, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he had a famous affirmation or mantra where he would basically say, I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He would say that over and over, and eventually it became like a self-fulfilling prophecy for him, and he actually did become the greatest at one point or another. So that just goes to show that by using positive affirmations throughout your day, it will just help you speed your process to a positive mindset and honestly help you accomplish your goals along the way. Tool number 6 is essentially just learning and personal growth. I think that there's no better way to become better at something than by doing. So if you were trying to cultivate a growth mindset, then why not actually try and learn something, put it into practice. If you're trying to learn an instrument, play the instrument and prove to yourself that you are not fixed in your beliefs. Prove to yourself that you can become better. By learning and just doing that is the best way to show ourselves that we can become better and can foster positive mindset. Because after all, just thinking about and trying to have a better mindset isn't going to cut it. You need to actually act and do. And by acting and doing and trying to play guitar or trying to learn how to sing or whatever else, it could be anything, you are actually going to be making concrete decisions, concrete ways to improve your mindset in real time. Now, the key here is to embrace the challenges, embrace the failures. Everybody is doomed to fail at one point or another. So the quicker you embrace that fact and move forward from it, the more resilient and positive your mindset and more resistant your mindset will become. The last and final tool is just setting and achieving goals. When you are writing out goals to achieve and making it a concrete effort, and then you are achieving those goals, even failing from those goals, that is going to become kind of a linear slope upward in the trajectory of life. I think that it's very important to try and constantly grow and set and achieve goals over time, because that just proves to yourself that you can accomplish everything you want. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my 7 tools for shifting your mindset from more of a fixed mindset to more of a growth mindset, and ultimately just making your mindset more of a positive one over time. So please try out these tools. Let me know what you think. And if you have any other tools you'd like me to talk about, or just feedback in general, please let me know.